You guys all know that I've been with Cardfight Vanguard for the last 12-ish years. Well, what if I told you that Bushro did another TCG? No, not those. I'm talking about an old game that lives on through an app game and that was recently rebooted into this bad boy. I've been mildly interested in dabbling with this through said app, and I found a shop that had products. A small scene that I immediately went X1 in with an unmodified trial deck, and most importantly, is another shop that I can bring Tony to. So let's begin our little dive into Shadowverse, shall we? Shadowverse is a Magic-like game in terms of having 20 life, an energy system to play cards, permanent creatures and enchantment type cards, and cards that can be played during either player's turn in terms of timing. But that's where the similarities end, and where I start talking about the other gimmicks in this deck profile that I'm about to do. It's a trial deck. So the deck I chose to play was Havencraft. I was torn between this and Dragoncraft, maybe Runecraft, because I like doing those spellslingy, burny kind of decks. But they didn't have Dragoncraft in the shop, and this was my second choice. So if you want to help me build these other decks, then make sure to pick up some Raise Energy using code SkyRage, or of course check out my page on TCG Player to help support me on this channel so I could afford to play more decks. Havencraft is a deck that basically specializes in these amulet cards, which are basically your enchantments for the game if you're familiar with Magic lingo. So let's go ahead and start with those. Starting of course with the ones that make dudes, because the token spam is partially what drew me into this deck. This one makes a kitty, this one makes a bird, and this one's my favorite because not only does it make you a cat when it comes to play, but you pop it off and it makes another cat, so you get 2 cats for the price of 1. To play cards in Shadowverse, you have this little symbol right here, which is basically how many play points it costs to play a card. Think of it kind of like your mana or energy cost, but instead of playing cards down to get this energy, you have a nice little gauge that increases every turn. And as you play cards, your things go down for a turn, then go back up during the next turn. And so on, and so forth, and so forth, and so forth. So cost-wise, you tap him, he goes to the grave, and you get your dude. This one comes into play tapped, but then you sack it off to get your dude. And this one, you just get a thing, and then sack it and you get another thing. That's why she's the best one, even though she's a 4-drop. I need one more. Of course, some amulets don't make creatures for free, so you have this one that comes into play tapped and kills a thing. And this one, which is probably the best card in the deck. It's 0-drop, which means you play it for free. And it has 2 different effects. The first one, you could tap it to tap one of your opponent's cards so you can attack them. Because in this game, you can only attack with a creature against another creature that's already tapped. Or just attack them directly or whatever. So this first effect makes them tap a card or engage it, so you can attack that card. Really useful if there's something pesky that's standing up. What's more important though, if you somehow get all the way up to 10, you could tap this, put in your cemetery, everything dies. And not just dies, gets banished, removed from game. This is stupid. Have fun getting to 10, there's no acceleration in this deck. Of course, what's the deck without its creatures? We start off at the start of the show, Mr. Skullfeed. I thought his name was Skullface, it's Skullfiend, there's an N there. Who's a 7-drop, big late game card, but if you get there, you get to check your top card for one of these amulet things, and then play it for free. Then the rest go to the cemetery, I guess. And in addition to that, his more important effect is that when you pop one of these cards, when you send it to the cemetery, like most of the amulets do, you deal not only 2 damage to your enemy leader, reducing their life, but you also deal 2 damage to each of their creatures. Followers. They're called followers in this game. So basically, whenever you do anything that the deck's supposed to do, burn everything for 2. I'm a burn player. I love this card so much, even though he's a 7-drop, which kind of sucks. He was basically my white condition on both the games I won. For the rest of your support creatures, you got a lot of nuns, which is, except that one's kind of mommy. And she's really good too. It's a 4-drop that lets you take one of your amulets back from your drops and just play for free. Really good? Sad the deck only comes with 2, definitely picking up a 3rd. This was probably my favorite of the generic creature. Not only does she have ward, basically the protection effect in this game, if something with ward is engaged, they can only attack the thing that's warded first. But during your opponent's turn, it deals 1 more damage, which means if it is warded, it's going to deal extra damage when it attacks. Thanks to the fact that in this game, when one creature attacks another, you're basically exchanging their damage value. So that deals 2 to 2, 2 to 2. Wait, I lied, this deals 3. Then damage only 6 round if a creature survives. This one I've legit not played yet. It just If you have an amulet, you give it +1 defense. I guess that's good. And this one's gonna lead into the next section. Should I talk about you? What do you do? Oh, it gives you leader back in defense. That's good. Gives you back a life. But basically, what these four share are they're all evolving units, which is one of the main keywords for Shadowverse. Evolved. Basically, how this works is you have a cost on them to evolve it. Like this one costs 1, so that's going to cost 1 play point. Or if you went second, you get 3 of these things, which count as, well, an evolution point. You can use 1 per evolution, and you can evolve 1 card per turn. When you evolve a creature, they turn into this powerful versions of themselves. So suddenly the one that gives you 1 life gives you 2 life. The one that buffs herself is now going to give you back 2 life, so it's the same as this one? I think you just, this card doesn't matter, I think. You just play this one. This generic door is probably my favorite because when you evolve him, he's going to be able to kill something that has 3 or less defense. So he's an on-play snipe, I guess, for a 4/4, that's not bad. And of course, the girl that has ward and deals more damage when warded becomes bigger and deals even more damage when warded now. So she's going to basically be a 5/3 on their turn. Really cool gimmick for the game to have these followers that just evolve. But I mean, that's not the reason I chose to play it. It's just a cool add-on, I guess. You get 10 cards in your evolution deck, and your normal deck can be 40 to 50 cards, with 3 copies of every card as your maximum. Then the found creatures in this deck are just 2 more ward things. You get 2 of this, 1 of this. That's the generic one that comes in like every starter, I think. It's not bad though. It's a 5-drop for a 4/6 with ward. That's pretty strong. I think she has an evolved form in the app game. I don't know if she has an evolved form here. And this one's kind of nice because it's literally just a 1-drop for a 1/3. Not the biggest split for guarding, but I mean, it's a 1-drop that protects everything else. Then rounding the deck out, we have a couple of spell cards. Basically, you got this one as a 2-of, that's a quick play spell. In this game, there are 2 timings as normal that you can do during your turn, and quick, that's basically an instant speed. You can play it on your turn or during theirs. So he's a 1-drop that says you can check your top 5, reveal an amulet, put it in your hand, and the rest go to bottom deck. In any order. In any order, I don't know if that matters. As far as I can see, there is not nearly enough draw power for anything to stack, but I guess in the future, if we can do that, that's cool. The important part is you check top 5 for one of your win condition cards and add it to your hand. And it's a 1-drop, so as long as you have 1 play point, you can just do this whenever. And speaking of 1-drop quick plays, we got this generic card, which just deals 2 damage to anything. Pretty good defensively if they have like something that has 2 defense left and it's swinging in for a giant number. Like, haha, by the way, it's dead. Or probably my favorite spell that I played all day was this one that's a 4-drop, which kind of sucks, but it has a really cool effect in that you can select something to banish and give you their +2. So this is not restricted. It kills anything on the field that doesn't have the amulet keyword that's basically protection in this game. So like you have a giant, their win condition, 10/10, whatever, dragon. It's attacking you, still have 4 play points left. No, go away. You're banished, you're not dead, you're gone over there. And then you gain 2 life back, so that's really, really good. So that's a real quick dive into Havencraft. Like spamming tokens? Control? Debatably corrupt religion? Then this is the class for you. But there are a handful more, so if you want to see more Shadowverse clans, be sure to leave a like or comment on this video, and don't forget to subscribe while you're down there. Until our next adventure in the Shadowverse, always embrace the infinite. What am I doing with these hands? I'm a bird now. Good call, I'm a bird.